property along Clinker Road and the Fisher property as it fronts on Burnside Road. The request was to classify from R1 to R2. So this is just for the hearing. Yes, I know you're having a problem.
This week or next week? What about Monday?
No, we have to have enough time to advertise this.
And I think
About Monday, what about Monday at June 29th?
Bruce,
Mr. Chairman, I think also there's a 30-day period which we have to have kind of come in.
Before we have
before the hearing, but not, we can set the date.
Correct.
When the application came to us, did it go to the county already?
No, it did not.
You're waiting just till we set a hearing date.
Yes.
So the hearing date has to be July. Is that right? You said it has to go to the county for 30 days.
Yes. County planning has 30 days to call up.
So it has to be a minimum of 30 days from now. Is that right?
That's correct.
But we did prior to our next visit.
No, we can, but it's a question of.
No, that's July 1st.
Yeah, that's July 6th.
July 6th.
I have no clue how long this it's going to take. There'll be some residents that have an interest in this rezoning.
What about Monday, July 14th?
I'm going to Monday.
Monday, July 14th. What about
Wednesday, July 8th.
We can try at 5:30 on Monday after.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't see it taking longer than an hour and a half. If it takes that long, then we would.
5:30, July 6th.
Yeah.
Good.
By that time, I should have comments back from the county planning.
Before 5:30, before next meeting.
That reminded me already.
Then if we can't get it done, we want to continue. All right, reserve. I'm going to just get that full motion.
I'll make a motion that we hold a hearing for McConnell official rezoning, change of zoning district use classification from R1 zoning to R2 zoning on Monday, July 6th at 5:30 p.m.
I'll second. The moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. For number 102, 2015, with plans, the presentation was for the Morning Road Bridge.
From SAI Consulting Engineers, they gave the board two options, the presentation of plans. One could be a public meeting. Now, it doesn't have to involve the board of supervisors, but it's a method in which the engineering firm, and it comes from PennDOT, in which they can present those plans to the public. They can provide them a public meeting here, or they can provide the plans on display at the lobby for 30 days, giving questionnaires that people who may have any questions or comments can write into the firm, that will go back to them for their review.
Why can't we do both?
I don't see why there's a problem. Both could happen. I would think that we could, for example, you could have the public meeting, and then after the public meeting, also have the plans on display in the lobby.
And beforehand as well.
What's their time frame for this?
They would like to have, just to have another quick.
So we just committed to it. For our next public meeting.
They want to, what did they say, John?
They want to move, they want to try to get this process moving as quickly as possible.
Wait long enough for it.
Unfortunately, you.
No, it's not necessary that the board members be present. I mean, this isn't a requirement of this plan. It's just that they will hold a public meeting.
You're here to answer questions.
Yeah, but if-
Right, yeah. I mean, sure, the board is welcome to attend, but the presentation will take place.
Well, do you have the drawings?
No, I do
How
not.
fast can you get the drawings?
I would assume that I can get those probably this week.
Okay, if you get the drawings and put them up so that people can start to see them.
Okay.
That's a good
Put them
idea.
on the wall and then let's have a meeting.
What about at 6:30?
What if we still, like she said, what if we put them out now and then we let them come questions after people have had a chance to review it at 6:30 on July 6th. So they're out for 30 days, so people can look at them, but then they're also here to answer questions.
Is that soon enough for people to turn?
Yeah, I can get that worked out.
July 1st,
Yeah, I understand.
Wait, July 6th?
No, that would be fine.
July 6th, we have a 5:30 pickup.
Right, we have a 5:30 here.
we'll knock it out at 6:30.
I don't have a problem with scheduling another.
Down that side street,
All right. For number 103, 2015, we need to consider holding tank agreement for commercial property at Enterprise Bank on Vertical Drive.
What's this about and why? How is it that they can get a holding tank and others can't?
Business.
I don't know that.
Bruce?
What had happened was that this is a bank-owned property, it was a foreclosure. Enterprise Bank is the owner of it at this point in time. They had a dye test completed by Washington County Sewage Council on the septic system and it failed. The only other means at this point would be to put a holding tank in. And this is the commercial property. So Washington County Sewage Council did approve their end at this point.
Has it been used as commercial property all along?
To my knowledge, it's been a bunch of various commercial buildings. A pizza place was in there at one point. Some gentlemen sold computers out.
I just remember.
Elizabeth, the law allows the business to have a holding tank. You can't get it approved for a resident.
Okay. No problem.
Motion to approve that holding tank agreement. This is standard.
Hey, Tom,
Seconded.
they're gonna have to put up money in escrow like everybody else does?
And what
I said it's a standard agreement we have.
Isn't it only for 18 months?
Oh, no.
No, it's forever.
It's perpetual. There's standards about the alarm system on it, that's to be pumped as escrow money. There's a standard agreement that was approved years ago. So it's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. For 104-2015, we needed to consider authorizing our township engineer to bid on the remaining improvements in Windsor Woods from that bond money that we settled with.
I'll make the motion.
Wait, Dan, would you just explain it really quick?
Sure, I'll give a brief overview. We spent last year about $59,000 on the paving, that out of the remainder of the settlement, which was for a total of $180,000. There's about $48,000 left. Joe's been over, Joe Seitz is here tonight, has been over there. We prioritized the repairs to be taking care of the storm sewer system, which is something the township's going to have to take over. So we want to make sure that's in good condition. We also need to convert the detention basin that's there into its final form. And then there's a little bit of grading at the end of the cul-de-sac that needs to be done. We estimate there are about $38,000 worth of work. There's some engineering involved to bid it and get it done. And we still will have a little bit of money left at the end of the day. I'm recommending that we get the storm sewer also televised after we get everything cleaned out and done, just to make sure that everything's in working order. So we'll get everything in under the amount that the bonding company does, and what we've taken over will be in good condition, which is most important. There are some rumblings out there about somebody taking over the balance of that plan. So we're trying not to do anything that somebody else would do in the future with the money, but focusing on what the township has to maintain right now.
Right, again, is that homeowners association still active?
Boy, I believe that they are, but I'm not sure what happened with that phase. I mean, it was active for phases 1 and 2. This is phase 3. I'm not sure what happened.
Initially, they were each paying a portion of that sewage plant operation expense. Obviously, that went away with the plant.
It's gone. Yeah.
This thing, again, the stormwater system we take over is in all the rights of way. We're going to have to make sure they that the homeowners association has reactivated if it's kind of gone by the wayside.
Yeah, that's something we can check into, it's a good point.
When is this all going to be done?
If you authorize it tonight, we would get it out for bid and get you some bids in for your next meeting.
Excuse me, there have been complaints from Windsor Woods.
Recent complaints? Was there any specifics that you can point to that we're not addressing? Because the road was paved last year.
I know that.
I mean, there might be some minor drainage issues, or if you can pass them along, we'd be glad to talk to the residents just to make sure we're taking care of it.
I'll give you the information.
Okay, sure.
Is there a motion to authorize that gateway to solicit bids?
Yes.
Moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion carries. Andy, you and Dan on that.
That's, Todd is the project manager for the excavation up there at the reserve. And they have extra fill and topsoil. And Dan and I have met with them before. And there's two places in the Klinger Park complex where we could actually use this to help us out. And that's what the whole email was to everybody to show. There's one spot on the southern end of it, near 79, that would fill in a valley over there. Dan, you've already applied for the E&S and updated the permit on that, so this would all be included, and it would be not a problem. But that area, once it's filled in too, could be possibly used to store a little bit of topsoil till they complete the second phase of the project, and the township would have the rest to use wherever we needed it, not only at the park, but anywhere in the township. The other side is on the north side of where the fields are, and there's a valley in there that could be filled in. It's not too far from the actual trail down there, and Frank and I discussed what we were thinking of doing up in that area. There is one switch back there. That would be the perfect area once they put this fill in. You go ahead and put a dog park in the switchback in the woods area there, and have a section of it that goes out into the broad sunshine with this area to fill would be. So it would benefit the park. It wouldn't cost the township anything. And Dan, you can talk about a little bit what we've done.
Yeah, we had a similar agreement, a memo. Just did this in a memo of understanding. We had this in a similar agreement with them before on a number of things that they helped us out with. And this is just the consummation of what's left to do here. They've agreed to provide insurance to the township to do the work on the property. They've also agreed to sign off as the co-permittee on the NPDS permit. That means if there's any violations over there, they would be their responsibility. And they have a number of other things in here, such as notifying us and so forth. So I'm satisfied that they're pretty diligent. They need this to make their phase 2 go. It's going to help them out a lot, but I think it's going to be a benefit to the township. It's been a real good help with these guys over here. They did also get us out of a pickle on the topsoil issue with our last contractor that was in there and left us in a lurch with the big topsoil piles and moved them also. So again, it's been back and forth, helping each other out. And I think this is one where we're helping them out. We're also going to get the benefit, like Andy said, with some extra topsoil at the end of the day that Bill will have good access to for his use in the future.
To clarify again, we're helping them out by giving them a place to waste their extra fuel to eat.
Instead of having to haul off site.
Right, yeah, high side lots of a lot of times a lot of earth to get rid of, so that's a close place for them. So we're accommodating them more so than helping them.
One of the things that was a concern for me too, Dan, as we discussed the timeline on this, I did talk to the people from the soccer association. I was up there Saturday, and the parking lot was just totally full. They were playing a couple soccer games there. But their spring season will be over in approximately 2 weeks. So there won't be any activity up there during the time period we're talking about. Now, Todd has mentioned us that he was talking about mid-July, that 2-week period during that. And that's going to be before their soccer season in September opens up. So it would really benefit to get it done at that point. There wouldn't be people around. It would be less of an impact on anybody using it.
We have a motion to that effect to authorize that placing an additional fuel.
So moved. Second.
And seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 The motion carries.